My name is Richard Corbett. I'm the leader of the Labour MEPs. I represent Yorkshire and Humber.
So what does Brexit mean to you personally?
Personally, I think it's a tragedy for my country, above all. It's a wrong turn by Britain. It risks damaging our country, lessening our influence in the world, losing jobs, prosperity, weakening our security. I can't see a good side to it.
In your opinion, is Article 50 revocable, and if so, how?
Well, there's no doubt that Article 50 is revocable if the UK chooses to do so. That's a British decision. From the EU perspective, Donald Tusk, the President of the European Council, which is the institution which received the Article 50 notification, has already clarified that if Britain wishes to change its mind, that's up to Britain, it's free to do so.
What does Theresa May's Chequers deal mean to you? Do you think it's workable?
I don't think it's workable on what it proposes for the customs arrangements, which look rather complicated, would inflict a lot of red tape and costs on businesses, and essentially is asking the EU to change its rules. Sorry, we're leaving, chaps. Could you now change your system completely to attenuate our problems for us? So I don't think that's workable. But it's also not desirable from a British point of view. It excludes services, 80% of our economy, from the single market. That's bad in its own right. That has a knock-on effect on manufacturing. Manufacturing and services these days can't be separated. When you sell a jet engine, Rolls-Royce jet engine, to another country, the money is made as much from the after-sales maintenance of those engines, which is a service. You can't neatly separate them in the way that she envisages. Chequers is frankly a compromise deal between the factions of the Conservative Party, not between Britain and the EU. It's not even served that purpose of reconciling her party, because there's been resignations and strong opposition to it. It's certainly not going to be a deal that the EU will find workable or desirable, and thank goodness, because it's not in our national interest either.
Do you think Brexit is just a preamble to selling off the British National Health Service to America, and for us to slash food standards and environmental standards, say to imported chicken or burger gates from Australia? Does that worry you?
It worries me because that is indeed the motive of some of the people that back Brexit. The neoliberal right wing of the Tory party were the strongest supporters of Brexit for that very reason. They dislike the fact that the European market, the world's largest market, the European single market, is a market with rules. Rules to protect workers, rules to protect consumers, rules to protect the environment. Rules could be better, but they're significant enough to make the neoliberal right go apoplectic. They want a free-for-all, a corporate free-for-all, Trump style, where big companies can do what they want without having to respect what they consider pesky regulations to protect workers, to protect consumers, to protect the environment. They want to break free from that. That's why they wanted Brexit in the first place, and that's why they also want us to distance ourselves as far as possible from Europe if we go ahead with Brexit, so that we're not tied to any of those rules anymore.
The Good Friday Agreement is a peace treaty that was signed with. Therefore, does Brexit break an international treaty? And if so, what are the implications of that?
Well, one of the biggest problems of Brexit, it causes a problem anyway if part of the island of Ireland is in the European Union and part of it is out. But in that the government also wants us to leave the customs union, the rest of Europe is waiting with bated breath. The rest of the world is waiting to hear how you turn that border into a customs border, as the British government wants to do, without having customs controls. How do you do it? Now, they've talked about new technologies, electronic wizardry. I think they're planning to put Harry Potter on the border. Nobody else knows of any existing technology that would do that job. The alternative, which is to do your customs checks in the Irish Sea between the two islands, as we do already for phytosanitary controls on agriculture, for instance, that is politically difficult, and the DUP, which props up this government, would never accept it.